my shoulders here, and then hit the throttle. And yeah, that's enough. It just arrives, and it carries you like a rubber band that someone's pulled really, really, really far back and let go, and all of a sudden, wow, it just comes right up from behind you. It's really phenomenal. It's really a lovely experience, and I have to thank my friends over at Pfaff, Matt and Aman and everybody at Pfaff for letting me borrow the car to do a Tuesday test drive today. And if you can, feel free please to like and subscribe. We have a channel. This is our 26th show or 27th show, I believe. So there are a number of other shows, some with salespeople, some with just myself. But do take a look. And now we've been doing a little bit of music as well.
Nothing but execution and time. Buddha don't need nothing but a beating around. God protect my soul. Mama need to know that I'm fine. Who providing the vibes? You see this?
This is a very matte finish in this particular car. Of course, it's a Porsche. You can make it lighter and airier and choose lighter leathers on the interior. But this is very dark, very gray, very charcoal. There's some brushed aluminum. There's some other aluminum that's almost like I would say an anodized sort of gray. But everything else in the car is so dark and matte and I want to say sinister, but it's tough to be sinister when you got a green plate at the back of the car. A sort of a Darth Vader quality to it. If you see the exterior and the interior together, when you're inside of it, again, if you're really just going by buttons, there's really only buttons around your steering wheel here. Everything else is a panel of some kind. Even the air vents don't move. You actually move them electronically inside the controls, within the controls of the center console, which is maybe a little bit much, but at the same time, I got my air-conditioned seat on. It's a beautiful day today. And as I sit and I drive this car, and it's just so comfortable, but yet, as I just experienced getting on the highway here, the car has just got ungodly amounts of acceleration. Yeah, I can definitely see why that puts a smile on people's faces when they do it. It's really an ungodly amount of power to have in a car that now I'm back down to 80 kilometers per hour on this lovely road on a lovely day, and it's just quiet. And I'm sure my audio is going to come up great in this car because there's no other sound. That's it. Just the sound of the smile on your face. You could literally hear your cheeks pop as you smile in this car. It is that quiet. I noticed that the car has sashless doors, and I've heard about how quiet it is. And to have a car this quiet that has a door with no metal surround across the top, that's called a sashless door. A lot of sports cars have it. It makes for a really sleek-looking car, and this is a very sleek-looking car in my own opinion. I think it's a lovely look. And I got to say, when I looked at that, I immediately thought to myself, oh, I've heard this car is really, really quiet. I'm surprised it's this quiet and it has a sashless door, because usually you get a lot of air inside. Not only that, when I took a closer look at the window, you could see that it's actually two panes of glass sandwiched together. So in between the glass is some sort of a resin of some kind that is going to make that insulated glass even that much quieter. And it's probably not going to fog up all that much as well, which is a pretty cool piece of kit to have in what is really an all-out sports car. Yeah, I can literally hear myself smile in this car. It's so quiet. But then, when you hit the throttle, still no noise, you get thrown into another dimension. Like, we're talking ungodly amounts of power, but there's no sound. It's weird. Like, passing people, this is a passing zone. There was a car to my right, it is now gone. It is now behind me. That's it. That was it. That was a Volkswagen, and it's like nothing I've ever done before in my life in a car. It's nothing like that. It's just absolutely unbelievable how quickly you can just sort of choose to go somewhere in this vehicle. If you can see it ahead on the road and you hit the throttle, you'll likely be there about as fast as you think you can be there. I kind of find myself kind of wandering with this car and like steering it and just pushing it around a little bit because I'm looking for something. I'm looking for anything, really. And this car is just such a rocket ship. And man, oh man, as I accelerate into this corner, there's just the rush of wind, and that's it. And as well, I have to say, I think it's the perfect size. I think they really hit the nail on the head with this model, and also just the sheer mass of it. It's not a big car. Right now, this is a 4-seat car. There's a space in the middle of these 2 seats, but you can opt to get 3 seats in the back. Would you want this vehicle as a people mover? Probably not. You want to buy this car because you want an electric sports car. And that's exactly what this is. This is an electric sports car, and probably the finest example of an electric car. Anything that has this kind of capability should not drive as simply as it does. It should not feel as, dare I say, regular. It's the future, yes. Flat panel screens, glossiness. Darth Vader's Porsche is what I'm driving right now. But this is definitely, although a look into the future, a look into the past as well. They still got to keep those remnants of the Porsche and the Porsche experience. If Porsche is winning at Le Mans, and they're winning at Le Mans with electric vehicles, and those motors have made their way into this car, you have a Le Mans winning electric vehicle. What more can you ask for? Sure, the price is high, but really when you think about it, the price is low. Definitely 2 decades ahead, for sure. If you ever get a chance to drive this vehicle, you really are a few steps forward of the average electric vehicle for sure. Then you still have some history. Steering wheel, nothing kind of like all new. It's something that you would find on 911. You can find your cruise control buttons in the right spots, and they have some great wheels and touches and buttons that just can get you in here, get the radio on, and get you settled in and familiar with the car rather quickly. I love that they have the power button on the left, where they would have had on a left-hand drive Porsche the key to start the car, which goes back into their Le Mans winning history, where the Porsches always had the key opposite to the stick shift. So the drivers back in the day, they had to run across the track to get in the cars. Didn't have to worry about seatbelts back then because, well, that's what we did. And they would just get in and start the car. But Porsches, because they were able to start the car, the driver was able to put the car into gear with the other hand and get going. It's a matter of tenths of a second, but in racing, tenths of a second are years in regular time. So yeah, there's still a lot of that history. And it definitely looks like a Porsche, but it looks not like a 911, but it kind of looks like a 911. It's just enough. I think it's a very pretty electric car. The one downer I have to say, and this is something that I just like, I'm a lover of cars, I'm a lover of design, and all cars should be beautiful in my own opinion, but boy, some electric cars just look like appliances. They look like something you clean your home with, and this car does not look like that at all. I think to the uninitiated, seeing this Porsche, someone would just assume, and sure, the Turbo S name at the back might draw people. It's a turbo, so it's got an engine. No, it doesn't. It's electric. Why would you call it a turbo if it's an electric? You know, I find it funny that people complain about that because we're calling everything something else at all times in the last 5 to 10 years. Anyway, coupes that are usually referred to as having 2 doors have 4 doors, and all that sort of stuff. So many customers who are shopping would actually be more associated with the turbo name and understanding that this is the highest level of that vehicle.
Now, one aspect of the Taycan that I really have to mention is this center console area. The center console area is extremely simple and has a touchpad. And this touchpad has kind of been made fun of in a way, I would say, because it seems redundant because it's doing things to the screen just above it. That center console adjustment area for all your controls and switches are usually a little volume knob, a little selector knob. Well, here in the Taycan, what you have is that only in an electronic version of it. If you've ever owned a vehicle, or if you currently own a vehicle where you have a flat panel or a flat screen that you're able to touch and make selections on, one of the things that happens is that's easy to do when you're at a stop, but when the car's in motion and you're driving and there's that slight wobble to the car and you go to reach out, that kind of happens. And you end up tapping the wrong thing. The reason for this panel here, this lower section, is to keep my hand relaxed and just to be able to touch the screen and make my selections on the screen above. It's showing me those selections that I'm making, and I'm also getting synaptic feedback that I'm actually making the selection. Because they've effectively taken away every knob and switch, you have to be able to touch and control what it is that you're doing. So as I swipe, you can kind of hear those little clicks going by. Those are the clicks, and it's telling me what I'm actually selecting up top. That's where the center console concept comes, and that's why we have two panels that effectively look like they're doing the same thing, but one is actually a remnant of some older design that I think is still exceptional and always should have the free hand available for the driver to use in a safe manner. So. It's not a quirk. It's designed that way. Try designing a car. It ain't easy.
Buddha monk shit. Buddha monk, yeah. LT though. Big abuser. I see the blinds Venetian. In Tiger species tried to hide me secret. Societies are built on lies in front of us and weaving. Reality is a tease, no teeing up for peace. Societies are built on bribery and riding Jesus. Coattail is a miracle windbreaker. Coke sales an element, but really for the undertaking. The vet bend in the water, fire mastery. You need to reap the earth for every mineral upon a piece. More than marijuana seeds, of the nature of the piece. Of the larger puzzle, making goods out of pharmacy. The kind of harvest that would make Jimmy Carter bring back the solar panels to the White House armory. I'm getting closer to the sun, like the Father need to see the Holy Spirit, so the Trinity can pass the keys. On to the little hustlers and pharmacy. 24 times around the sun and ain't no harm in me. Bum wings, nah, Ray ain't no Icarus. Get the 5-piece, side of fries and dip the biscuit dip. Pork pies done with the hot supply of spinach dip. I'm on the line, time to get the money, playing chicken with it.
Cause these goals for my children. But when I die off, they bathed in millions. Life goals got me out here making the killing. When your lady steps up, don't be in your feeling. These vivid visions don't need nothing but execution in time. Buddha don't need nothing but a beat in a rhyme. God protect my soul, mama need to know that I'm fine. Who providing the vibes? You see this hippie's on the grind. You don't make me comfortable, nigga, you acting like 12. Acting on your fake persona, shit that doesn't end well. You too busy blaming life, you chose your life to be hell. I'm over here breaking new grounds and out of old shells. What I see in you don't matter, your skin, I eat and bleed with ya. Smile and cry with ya. I'm on my hippie gang shit, I'm spreading peace with ya. My style like nice jumper, fleece sweater, warm weather, meaning that a hippie hot. You ready for Coachella? Buddha got vibes that make you perform better. I told my girl, fuck that, we gotta be go-getters. My only hope is God will write bad these love letters. As for now, I'ma serve it and let it burn like hippie Usher. On my Jewish tips, might as well start eating kosher. Buddha with the monk, make sure that you know it's for sure. On to better things, don't be calling my cellular. Cause these goals for my children. For when I die, y'all, they bathed in them millions. Life goals got me out here making the killing. When your lady steps up, don't be in the feelings. I say, these goals for my children. For when I die off, they bathed in them millions. Life goals got me out here making the killing. When your lady steps up, don't be in your feelings. I say, these goals for my children. For when I die off, they bathed in them millions. Life goals got me out here making the killing. When your lady steps up, don't be in your feelings.